A federal court has just responded to Attorney General Pam Bondi's move to unseal Jeffrey Epstein's grand jury records. And while the door isn't shut, it's clear the court is not going to give in very easily. But before we get into this story, please join Explain America. Like, comment, share. We really appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Here's what we know. Late last week, Attorney General Pam Bondi filed a motion to unseal long-hidden grand jury records related to Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operation. The records that could finally reveal who Epstein was really working with, who enabled him, and who got protected. This request came directly after President Donald Trump instructed Bondi to pursue the files. Why? Because the American people have had enough of the lies and the cover-up. Just days earlier, the DOJ quietly issued a memo claiming that Epstein had no list of clients, no black book of elites, no trail of powerful co-conspirators. The backlash was immediate and bipartisan. No one believed it. So Bondi made her move, and now the federal court has responded, and they're not handing over those files without a fight. Judge Paul Engelmeyer of the Southern District of New York says Bondi's motion was too vague. The filing, according to the court, didn't go far enough to justify breaking grand jury secrecy. So now Bondi is on a tight deadline. The court has ordered her to file a detailed memorandum of law by July 29, spelling out exactly why these records should be unsealed. Specifically, the judge is asking for legal answers to some very serious questions. Who is officially requesting the disclosure and under what authority? Is the government itself opposing the release? What about Epstein's defense team, if they're still involved? Why is disclosure being sought now and in this particular case? And how much of this material has already been made public through previous leaks or reporting? And another question was if any of the grand jury witnesses are still alive and people whose identities might still need to be protected. The court made it clear Bondi's original motion didn't check enough of these boxes. So if the records are going to be unsealed, she needs to build a legal case that can't be ignored. And let's be clear, this isn't a dead end. This is a challenge for Bondi's team. Because this isn't just a legal fight. It's a war over truth and accountability under the rule of law. Let's not forget what this is really about. Jeffrey Epstein didn't operate alone. We know this because of the charges that he was engaged in soliciting prostitution across state lines. He had private islands. He had video cameras set up all over the place to ensnare anyone who came there for whatever reason. We already know he has connections to intelligence circles. And we also know he got one of the most absurd sweetheart deals in modern legal history, a non-prosecution agreement. We already know there was a concerted effort to keep the full truth from ever coming out. Now, when the DOJ says with a straight face that there's no client list in an unsigned one-page documents leaked to a state-friendly outlet like Axios, well, that sends out a red flag. So Trump did the smart thing, instructed Bondi to go for the records and the grand jury, but there's going to be some legal hurdles. She needs to deliver a bulletproof argument by July 29th, and we may get some names, and that's what they're scared of. Names. That's why this process is being slowed down. That's why there's resistance, and that's why we all need to stay focused on this case, because it's much bigger than Epstein. It's about how power protects itself in this country, how elites cover and potentially blackmail each other, and how justice gets twisted to serve the politically connected. So for years, we were told this was a conspiracy theory. Then the flight logs came out, the emails surfaced, the deals were exposed, and now the grand jury records are the last wall standing. And guess what? It's starting to crack. This has been Kyle Becker with Explain America. Please like, comment, and share. It helps keep Americans informed about what's really going on in this country.